It was a busy day on this steam railway, a perfect day for a day out with Thomas. It wasn't long until the engine arrived. The engine that arrived into the station was a big grey diesel engine. It roared into the station. After being uncoupled, it leaves its coaches at the station, and then it's changed tracks, and then it goes around its train. Soon, it reached the end of the station, changed tracks again, and trudged back down onto its train to be coupled up again. And when it's coupled up and all the passengers aboard, we are on our way down the line. Along the way, we stopped in a siding where we let another engine pass. It's a big green steam engine. The big green steam engine gave the whistle and the diesel engine turned back. The steam engine is heading down the line to the station where we started. After the steam engine had puffed by, we were on our way again. Further down the line, we approached a tunnel. It was very dark, very long, and it was very loud when we went through. It wasn't long until we saw the light at the end of the tunnel. And as we pop out, we arrive into the next station. At the next station, we had to change for another engine to take us up the line. While we were waiting, there were some model layouts that we can have a look at. Like this layout, which has Thomas, Percy and Toby. There were some more model layouts in this mail coach. There was one that had Thomas, Gordon, James and many engines. There was another model layout that ran trains that were even smaller. There is also a layout where you can race Thomas, Toby, Bill or Dart.
It's in this little van, look. It's Ben and...
Soon, our favourite number 1 engine, Thomas, pops into the station right on time with his long, heavy train. After Thomas had been uncoupled, a big blue diesel comes out of the siding and couples up to the train and takes us up the line. As we left the station, there were lots of things in sidings, like coaches, brake vans, and of course, trucks. It wasn't long until we arrived into the last station on the line on this steam railway. At the last station, there were some of Thomas's friends, like Daisy, who was taking passengers down a line where a new station was going to be built. After going round its train, the big blue diesel couples up again and takes the passengers back down the line where Thomas was. A few minutes after the big blue diesel had left, Daisy heads down the line with her passengers. In the siding was Mavis the diesel engine with some troublesome trucks and Toad the brake van. There was also a little narrow gauge railway at the last station where two little engines puffed cheerfully, taking passengers down the line. This little green engine is going into the siding to have a rest, and the other little green engine is getting ready to take the train down the line. After the passengers had climbed aboard, the guard blew his whistle and waves his green flag, and the little engine takes us down the line. Soon we arrive at the next station. At the next station, there's a lots of things that we can do, like watching a garden railway. Passengers can also have a look inside the signal box, and also passengers can have a look inside the engine shed. There's a lot of engines inside this engine shed. Like this engine. This engine looks a little like Rusty. And this little engine looks a little bit like Duncan. After having a good look inside the engine shed, all the passengers climbed aboard and the little green engine is ready to take its passengers back down the line. But before it takes us back to the station where we started, it has to trot down the line to a place where it can go around its train. The fireman uncouples the little green engine, and the little green engine leaves its coaches in the siding and puffs over the points. The fireman changed the points and the little green engine puffs cheerfully past its train, and after changing tracks again, it couples up to its carriages and soon it was on its way again. After being coupled up again, the little green engine puffed cheerfully back down the line. Along the way, we passed the engine sheds, the garden railway, and the signal box, until finally arriving back at the station where we had started. The fireman uncouples the little green engine again, and now it's time for this little green engine to have a rest. Soon it began to rain, and Thomas puffed cheerfully into the station right on time. After being uncoupled, Thomas puffed to the water tower to take on water, and then puffed cheerfully around its train, whistling happily to the children. Soon Thomas took us down to the next station, where the sun was shining again.
Welcome everybody. Back to Thomas, who's turned back on scene. Thomas has to... Which will be reading at about 5:04.
A few minutes later, the big green steam engine puffs into the station. After when all the passengers had climbed aboard, it puffed cheerfully back down the line to the station where we all started. It puffed around its train one more time and then couples up, and when the guard blew its whistle and waved his flag, it puffs cheerfully back to the sheds to have a good rest. Goodbye, little green engine. I hope we'll see you again soon for another day out with Thomas.
useful engine, you know. All the other engines, they'll tell you so. He huffs and puffs and whistles, rushing to and fro. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the Fat Controller, he told him so.